What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the marksman hero, Obsidia. Obsidia is a marksman hero that deals lots of mini damage. Lots of mini damage. Now, let us share some tips and tricks on how to use Obsidia based on our experience. We will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let us show you our initial setup on Obsidia. In terms of items, there are lots of items you can go with. The Kurumi Way build will give you lots of mini damage output along with burst damage that is perfectly balanced when going against squishy and tanky targets. The Speedster build will give you a massive amount of attack speed along with lots of mini damage output and movement speed perfect against tanky heroes. The Crit Mommy focuses on burst critical damage output perfect for squishy targets. The item build for Obsidia really depends on the enemy's lineup and your gameplay. So make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in game. One of the best spells to be used on Obsidia is Sprint. You can use it to engage or escape team fights, especially in combo with your ultimate skill. You might also want to consider Flicker to reposition yourself to safety. You can also consider Aegis for that extra shield during crucial moments. In our opinion, the emblem set we use on Obsidia is the custom marksman emblem set for more attack speed, damage, and lifesteal. The talents we go for are agility for movement speed boost, but you can also go for rupture for more penetration. Wilderness blessing for even more movement speed when passing through the river or jungle when ganking. But you can also choose weapons master for more attack gained from items. Then weakness finder for its slowing effect, or you can consider war cry to deal more damage to enemies. Please take note that emblem setups are still situational and still depends on your gameplay. So it's best to find the talent combo that works best on you. Obsidia's passive, Return to Bone, lets her use bone shards to punish enemies. When Obsidia deals damage to enemies, she gains bone energy. She gains 1 energy for every damage from basic attacks against non-hero units like minions and turrets. Against hero units gives 2. While skills grant 3 times the energy. So make sure to have your skill 1 hit multiple minions in the early game to lots of bone shards faster. Hitting turrets also grants bone energy. Upon reaching 30 bone energies, which is found under her health bar, Obsidia obtains a bone shard which stacks up to 25 shards. She also gains a bone shard automatically whenever she kills an enemy hero. Each of these bone shards strike the target whenever she deals basic attacks. Each shard deals a small percentage of her physical damage and does a percentage of her attack effects. The mini damage from the bone shards shouldn't be underestimated since it also pokes even the turtle and the lord really hard. Obsidia's first skill, Abyssal Bone Needle, lets her poke the target. Obsidia launches an Abyssal Bone Needle and deals physical damage to enemies hit. This skill has a really long range that could poke enemies easy peasy. Make sure to have your skill 1 hit multiple minions in the early game to lots of bone shards faster. This skill also lets the bone shards of her passive attack the first enemy hero hit. Obsidia's second skill, Phantom Shadow Melt, lets her stride real quick. Upon using, Obsidia gains massive movement speed boost which makes her move like crazy. It will look like she dashed, but it's just because she is too fast with a movement speed buff. You can use this to reposition yourself to safety, to engage in combat, or chase after enemies. With its short cooldown during your ultimate skill, you can just easily go in and go out in team fights. Obsidia's ultimate skill, Hunt of Bone, attaches Obsidia to a target. Obsidia shoots Bones of Wrath towards a target direction which stuns the first enemy hero hit, dealing damage to them, and pulls herself towards them. This now makes them attached to each other which prevent Obsidia from moving away from the enemy for a certain distance. The enemy tethered can't use any displacement skill or spell. Their movement will also pull Obsidia when on its max tether distance. While tethered, Obsidia gains 5 temporary bone shards. Also while tethered, Obsidia can move through obstacles and use basic attacks while moving. Lastly, her second skill is enhanced while tethered, making its duration longer and its cooldown lower. The tethering lasts for 3 seconds. Its really long range could help you snipe enemies running away so you could give them some solo beating. You can even snipe enemies from the enemy's backline so you can punish them solo. Lastly, you can cancel the skill anytime during its duration by clicking the skill button again. Set second skill to max level first to have its cooldown lower for higher survivability. Prioritize first skill next for more damage dealt. Always upgrade your ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Using your ultimate is a double-edged sword since once you are tethered with a target, you can't get out of there anymore. Using it carelessly against more than 2 enemies will put you in a bad situation since the tethered enemy can just bring you with their teammates. So it's best to use her ultimate against less than 2 enemies. It's also best to utilize her ability to pass through obstacles while tethered to get to the backlines easy peasy. Avoid using your ultimate when against multiple enemies since your movement will be limited by the tether, making you unable to escape even with flicker. In terms for her combo, she has a really easy peasy combo to execute. First, use your ultimate skill to tether yourself with a target. Then, utilize your basic attacks to let those mini damage rain from above. Then, use your second skill in between to help you reposition towards their backline. Then you can use your first skill if ever they're still alive and will run away from you. Additional tip, on the list of items we recommended, items like Corrosion Scythe and Demon Hunter Sword will reach max stats just after one basic attack if you have 4 or more bone shards. That's because each hit of the bone shards still applies a percentage of the basic attack effects. So this gives you max effects of these weapons earlier than usual. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Obsidia. This video just guides you on how to use Obsidia, the Kurumi way. So, once again, this is Kurumi. Thanks for watching. We have our Ko-fi account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our Ko-fi link on the description of this video. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers!